When you're in an emergency and call an ambulance, you are calling a truck staffed with professionals and thousands of dollars in equipment.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services just awarded millions to EMS providers all across the state to help offset some of those costs. Armand Rahman joins us now with how one local agency will be putting those funds to use. Armand?
The Department of Health awarded $141,000 of the $12 million flex grant to Sun Prairie EMS. And to show you how expensive an ambulance service is, most of that money will go towards replacing just one piece of life-saving equipment on each truck. On an ambulance, the cardiac monitor has a big job.
Allows us to run EKGs, blood pressure, pulse, respiratory rate, end-tidal CO2, oxygen saturation, cardiac rhythm, and things like that.
And the little machine has a big price tag, too.
We need right now to replace 4 monitors. And that we've gotten a quote from the company of $135,000 just for the monitors.
But that's money that won't have to come out of Sun Prairie EMS's pockets thanks to a $141,000 flex grant from Wisconsin DHS.
It's a big relief because we didn't know what we were going to do if one of our monitors went down. That means a truck's out of service, and with the demands that are placed in a growing area like Sun Prairie and with our Marshall expansion, we cannot afford any downtime.
Each ambulance, including the new one set to serve Marshall next year, gets a new monitor. Paramedic Chris Kaiser says the rest of the grant money will go toward training equipment.
And high-fidelity training mannequins cost a lot of money, as do the supplies that we use to train, because we train with the same supplies that we use in patient care on the high-fidelity mannequins.
It also allows them to focus on the other bigger costs of EMS work.
We're also buying 3 additional ambulances, which are about $200,000 a pop. I mean, we have to replace the equipment. There's costs. There's all kinds of expenses to run an ambulance service. And ambulance services aren't profit centers. They're cost centers.
Kaiser says they rely on support like this to provide a service lives in the community rely on.
Funding sources like this are a step in the right direction, and I'm glad to see them doing it. I hope it continues, and we continue to support good quality ambulance services in Wisconsin.
Now, Sun Prairie will start getting the first half of the grant payment later this week. The rest will be released after budget reports are submitted, and all funds have to be spent by next September.